just to even blend African and African American.
Yeah.
And it's not happening.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Why are African immigrants and African Americans or Black Americans?
Everybody had their orientation.
Amazing grace, how sweet.
Every journey begins with a dream, a challenge, a moment of courage. At Afrisota Digital, we tell the real stories of resilience, success, and impact. We celebrate the triumphs, embrace the struggles, and inspire the future. Every voice matters. Join the movement, subscribe, like, comment, and be part of our community. Visit afrisota.org and follow us, because your story deserves to be heard. This is Afrisota. We aspire to inspire.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Doctor, as a practitioner, as a professional in your field, but also as somebody who has lived in this community for a long time, you've interacted with white people, Black people, people from Nigeria, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, all over the world. There is a question that I would not leave this place without asking. Racism. What are your experiences, Doctor? Have you experienced? Do you hear stories? What would you call that?
Well, this is the problem. The thing is, even though we got here, many of us start talking about racism, discrimination. Guess what? We have it in Africa.
Yes.
And so I'm not going to be saying it's only here. It's only because it's affecting us. Otherwise, back home, if you're not from my tribe, they will have a name for your tribe.
Good.
To say, this tribe don't marry from there. They do A, B, C, D. So, expressing it here is more negative to us because we feel that we're entitled to something and people is not giving it to us. So that entitlement is angering us for somebody to say you are not qualified for this. We know it's here. We know it's happening. It happened to our people before us, which is African American, where they cannot go to certain front, certain
Because
occasion,
of how they look.
because of the way people are. And that is why I told somebody, I never knew I was black till I came to this country.
Yeah.
Because where I come from, everybody is black.
Yeah.
So who care to say this one
You
is
are black.
different? That's not different.
When a white person comes, they say, oh, a white man came to the town.
Exactly. I will follow them.
We follow.
I remember when I was in kindergarten, when we see them, missionaries, when they come to our church, we follow them.
Yeah.
Go to
Clapping,
Sunday school.
singing.
Clapping, they put us in a Volkswagen to take us to sing and clap.
If they eat maize, you are like, wow.
That's right.
They eat maize.
So racism is everywhere, but it's cankerous to everybody here. And so that is why, even in mental health, the fact that somebody is feeling this way, they discriminate them, that they cannot handle this thing, or they are ADHD. So racism is like a cankerworm all over the place here, and it's eating us blind. It's eating us voraciously, and I don't know if there's a solution to that, because it's been going on during Martin Luther King up to today. And so we have this program called Pan-African Conferences every year when I was in graduate school, just to even blend African and African American.
Yeah.
And it's not happening.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Why are African immigrants and African Americans or Black Americans?
Everybody had their orientation differently. Before I came here, people already told me that African Americans don't get closer to them, that they shoot gun, they do this.
Who told you? You saw on TV or somebody?
Exactly. That is what they saw on TV. And so when we come here, we have that mindset that these people, they are slaves too, because we saw them on TV. And so to blame us, it is important that we are all accept that we come here different orientation, and some of them see us too as enemy because they said we are the one who sold them. My grandfather doesn't even know about slavery, and so
they see us as primitive.
Yeah. Well, they see us too as that.
Yeah.
Even in the classroom, when I was in school, some professors will treat African different from African American.
Yeah.
Because they believe we come here for a purpose and we're gonna leave. They see African American are gonna stay here and they will not leave. And they still have the stereotype that they are not serious. Even though they have so many of them that are PhD holders, their genetics, their this, they still cut them down. But they see Africa that can go back. You may not hear our accent very well, understand our accent, but they know we are smart. So when it comes to African American and Africans, we can cohabitate, but we will not blend.
Do you think that something happened with because our Black American brothers and sisters, at some point, their ancestors came from Africa.
And that is the problem.
So do you think that something really happened with the Black person? And I want to focus on Black person, which makes division a way of us being able to get manipulated? Do you think something was planted in our minds in the way we perceive each other that will never make us feel the need to come together again? When do we return as Black people?
And we cannot get over something that has been planted there from generation to generation. It is something that we all inherited. When you said they come from that place, but they also have the notion that we're the one who sold them here. When we traveled back to Africa, they see us that we have a place to go. They don't see themselves as having another place to go. So that jealousy is there too.
Is it jealousy? Is it pain? Is it the pain of a culture that has been taken away from you, erased?
A jealousy in the way that is a positive jealousy, in the sense that they are looking at it that I wish. Because when you mention pain, that's part of pain that they are going through. But that can be misinterpreted to become different things. Now, we come here. Sometimes they feel that we come to encroach them, evade them, that they have suffered, and we come here with no suffering. They see them plowing fruit for us to eat. And that is a pain. When you see it, in Nigeria we said, monkey they walk, bamboo they chop. That is something like that for them. That you guys come here from barbaric places and you want to take everything that would have been for us. So that is another issue. And it's difficult. I remember when Obama was president, they said it's not black enough.
Yeah, because he found a root in Kenya.
Exactly. So that blackness is
because the mother is white.
Of course. But it's difficult to entertain that for them. That pain is difficult to get over with. That's why now you hear the word descendant of slavery. Who would like to be descendant of slavery? But because of the fact that they want to really show that pain, when you hear that somebody is a descendant, even though that is very painful.
It's painful
to see that way. And we have these places, we have the belief that they have gone through a lot, and we come here and they feel we didn't go through anything. But some of us too will feel that these are the people that came to get the gold, the white people come to,
exploit
Africa and exploit us. So we can be mad at them too. But we are in a double sword here, really double-edged sword that we are going through.
Where do we go from here, Doctor?
So where we need to go from here, like I said, we can cohabitate. but we need to have Africa as Africa.
African immigrants, Black Americans. So
Let us
these are names that we must give to these groups of
Exactly.
people.
Because we cannot, like I told you now, I've been involved in Pan-African conference for the past 20-25 years. But after the conference, some people say they're going to Ghana to find their DNA. They go to Nigeria to find the DNA. But when issue comes up, when the resources comes up, they say these resources belong to this people. And that resources come to this place. So resources are another problem. It's economical war. It's like an economic war between us, which shouldn't be. And because there is a situation where there's a divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Some situation will favor this and disfavor the other.
A friend of mine, a Black American, told me, some of you guys come here and use our history to make money.
See that?
And we don't benefit from it. So he said, yeah, because some of you guys come here and you use you use our story and benefit from it. You make money. They'll fund the organization. They'll fund your research, and we don't benefit from it.
See what I'm saying?
So what you're saying in terms of how divided we are as Black people,
Yes.
and how we have embraced that, internalized that division. We have internalized the fact that you are so different that even I cannot even identify with you as somebody who was once in a space where my ancestors came from, you know?
Yes.
But I say this, and I say this to Black people. I know, and I don't just want to say Africans.
No.
We have white people in Africa. But I say this to the Black person, because anything Black was made intentionally by colonial masters to be less appealing, to be less beautiful, to be aggressive, to be bad, you know? And so the closer to whiteness, the better for you.
Yeah.
And that's why we come here after people who have lived in Africa for 30 years come here. Within 2 years, they change even the way they speak. Because if you speak closer, the language closer, and mimic the white man's way, you are accepted, you belong. So I say this because we both, the Black people, have got history. And the history of our brothers and sisters who were taken away into slavery is a very respectable history to acknowledge. The Africans who remained back in Africa were not on vacation. Colonization, which happened in Africa, dealt with the Black man in Africa. We had the same white people hanging Black people, you know, beating them, putting our chiefs, our kings in public and flogging them with their small administrators. They came with the missionary in front and the colonial master behind. You bring the word of God, but what you're actually doing is get these people's mind so that I can rule them. You know, the exploitation. And people in Africa fought with their blood, with their sweat to gain their independence. These two stories, the people who were taken on slavery suffered enormously, you know, crossing all through the sea and the pain in that ship and everything that was there. The treatment here, people would go to harsh winter, people would go to the field bare feet to walk because the white man thought that we don't feel pain. We don't feel. Black person doesn't feel. That is how bad the thing is with the Black person. But where do we go from here? I believe we need to be able to humble ourselves to listen to each other's story.
Yes.
And I think it starts from there. Listen to the Black American story, acknowledge their story, listen to the African immigrant story, acknowledge their story without being accusative.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You just crowned it well by saying we need to listen to each other's story. Everybody's story is important to them.
Yeah.
And do not discount to say your story is less important than my own.
Yeah.
And the same thing with pain. Everybody's pain is painful to them.
Sure.
do not say your pain is less than my pain or mine is more than yours.
Yeah.
So that is part of agreement,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to find a way to have this memorandum of agreement that whoever you are important to yourself. Wherever I am, I'm important to myself. But then we can still cohabitate and live with humility and understanding. And the same thing in treatment modalities. That when I come to you, listen to me. I am the owner of my body. I used to think of my sister in Maryland. It's like every time I call him and I say, Bommy, how come you're not answering your phone? He said, brother, I am the executive director of my phone. I can answer
like that.
anytime I want to answer. So we need to know that we are their own carrier of our own thing. And we need to know that everybody carries culture. We are all culture carriers.
Yes.
Black, white, we are all culture carriers. And we carry it everywhere we go. And that becomes part of us. So all this conversation is to know your story, know your journey. Sometimes the journey may be flooded with some ideas or omission, but your journey is your journey.
Your journey is your journey.
And your story is your story. So with that, I appreciate the opportunity to share my story and my space with you. And I hope that this organization will continue to ask how we got to where we are today and be able to use that as a catapult to see our past and the future. Because past is important to future. And so we cannot neglect it. We cannot come here and neglect the way we used to eat. We used our hand to eat. Europeans said when you're in school, when we're in kindergarten, you have to use your spoon and fork. Many of us now don't even know how to put where does the fork be down or left or right. Because that is not our orientation. And so we cannot forget those orientations. If I don't eat part of what I eat back home, I'm bereaved. It's a bereavement for me. And so people need to understand that. And we cannot blame other people for their own experiences. Your experience is important to you. And I really appreciate this.
What would you consider an African-centered system of mental care in Minnesota?
Well, I will say that let them have a hope. And everybody that comes here will get their needs met. I'd like to see that as a dream come true in this state. For African to have integrated hub center that cater to everything.
Every African country, every African who comes here.
And I think that would be important to do. And I've seen that in other states. I just hope that something like that will happen. And I encourage that to happen. And that is why I serve on different state advisory board that has to do with mental health. So that I can put the need on the table. Any opportunity I have, I say, this is what we need. Any opportunity I have, I say, this is what we need. Repetition strengthens memory. If you continue to say the same thing all over and over, they say, this must be important to this people. Thank you.
Any word to Africans who are watching you?
Well, any word for Africans watching me today is to please support our brother here, that what he's doing takes a lot of time and wisdom, because as Africans, we love to tell our story, but we don't know who is going to listen to that story. And we have a young man here that is energetic, he has PhD, is a story collector. So let's have him to interview us Let's refer him to public places to collect information and share our information with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I appreciate you for your time.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And there you have it. Thank you so much, Dr. Oni, for sharing your story, for sharing your life, for sharing your practice with us. The question is, who's next? It's you.
Amazing grace, how sweet
Every
the
journey
sound.
begins with a dream, a challenge, a moment of courage. At Afrisota Digital, we tell the real stories of resilience, success, and impact. We celebrate the triumphs, embrace the struggles, and inspire the future. Every voice matters. Join the movement, subscribe, like, comment, and be part of our community. Visit afrisota.org and follow us, because your story deserves to be heard. This is Afrisota. We aspire to inspire.
Amazing grace.